Y'all, I got a story time for you. I cannot shake the idea of what I was entangled in unknowingly when I met a specific person who basically turned my life upside down only for the God energy to connect with me to turn it right side up. So I know that makes sense to you all who can relate. But these are some key factors, as I walk through the journey of what was there in the beginning that I did not immediately recognize it for what it was because I didn't know. But, hindsight 2020, I knew that it was odd, but I just didn't pay a lot of attention to it. So I'm even putting this message out for those of you all who may even have run into this circumstance yourself, but possibly haven't connected the dots. I'm gonna help you do that. And then too, somebody could run across this message who has not even encountered this yet, but it feels like a huge setup from the beginning. But the only thing is you don't know it. Of course, you're a smart cookie, right? You understand, what to stay away from, what not to try to attract to you by way of, you living a certain life. But sometimes you guys, you just don't see it coming. So I recall a situation when I met this individual. They took me around a group of young men. There were no other females. I was the only female in this situation, but I was with, this person. So, we were vibing or whatever, kicking it. I don't know what the person I was with told this group of young men. I don't know who I was to them, by way of, them saying who I was to them, to this group of people. So this individual, we just happened to, I guess they coordinated a pickup of some sort. I thought we were just going, to someone's house. I didn't know the manner of us getting there because we traveled by subway. Walking to the subway train, getting on the train, whatever, and we arrive. But this was a scenario. I found myself with this person jumping into a stopped car, like it was on the highway, but pulled over so we could get inside. So once the door opened, it was like a minivan. So it had like the side sliding door. Once the door opened, I attempt to get in because that's my first instinct is to get in. But the person I was with stopped me as I'm putting my foot up to step into the car. They positioned their arm against, my stomach, chest area, pelvic area, whatever, to stop me from doing so. And everybody in the car was looking at me. And then when that happened, looking at that person, like everything went on pause. So I'm like, oh. So naturally, I took my foot back down and I'm like, are we waiting on something? Whatever was going through my mind. I just thought it was odd. So it's like this person had to show that it was their call, whether we're going to get in this vehicle or not. While the passengers, there's probably 4 of them, were in there like, are y'all getting in or what? But nobody was saying anything. They were just looking. Mind you, we're on a street, a street of moving cars, but they, like I said, they pulled over, like, whatever. Oh, okay. So this is my first time talking about this, y'all. This has been well over 18, 19 years. But so this person had to show some sort of dominance, control right then and there. But the people in the car, they weren't tripping. They were just kind of just looking. They weren't surprised or anything. They didn't have surprised looks. Nobody said anything. They were just looking. So I'm like, okay. So then finally, I was basically released to get in the car. And I don't feel like it was a safety measure. Like they felt like, oh, wait a minute. Before you get in, let me check this seat. It wasn't even that. It was just time stood still right there. That's it. So somehow or another, we did end up as passengers in this vehicle and we wound up in somebody's apartment. I don't know whose apartment. I don't even know these people's names. Like I said, listen, once I'm with somebody or with them, I trust them. Like, I wouldn't be in that position with them if I didn't trust them. So wherever we headed, whatever the conversation was, whatever we were going to do, I fully trusted the person I was with that, things would go smoothly, successfully, whatever. It wasn't introduced to me as like I want you to meet my friends. Let's go hang out with me. There wasn't any conversation, y'all. I just arrived at this apartment with these young men. And then the person that I was with. So I just took it for what it was. These are his friends. They hang out. Maybe they grew up together. Maybe they went to school together. I didn't have any background information, y'all. None. I probably knew the name of one person because I heard their name mentioned multiple times since I had met this person. But I believe that was the one driving the car, which I could identify the name, but I'd never met these people or anything like that. I couldn't tell you the names of the other people. Nothing. I had no info, y'all. So anyway, ultimately we went and we hung out on a couch in a living room while they played video games. And I just felt like it seemed like it was normal, but it wasn't. Right? Like, it wasn't like, so, Latoya, what do you do? Where are you? Nothing. I don't know if what this felt like? This felt like an interview, but like a silent one. That's what it felt like. But nobody asked me questions. I feel it was more or less them observing me while I'm observing them. Because I never forgot this, by the way. I'm coming to y'all almost 20 years later with this story. I never forgot it. It stands out and has continued to stick out for a reason. But finally, I'm like, since, it keeps coming up more recently, I'm like, well, shoot, this is where it started. Not even, but if we're talking about Coven energy and these masculine energies who have vendettas against women, the what I just described to you all, would that not sound like them, the person I was with, presenting me as one of their newest ventures, their next victim, sizing me up like, oh, you got a good one. Yeah, we can all eat. Does that not seem like familiar in that sort of sense? Like, but you would never imagine it to be that way, right? But here we are, fast forward all these tarot card readings. You have other readers talking about these male covens and how people are feasting off of your energy by way of sexual contact through at least one of them. And then they take the energy back to the coven and they're, y'all, that was an introduction. So I say all that to say, just, when you go around these groups, it doesn't seem genuine. Like you're almost like, why am I here? If you're asking questions early on, I would say, please be mindful, take heed of what is really happening that's being unspoken and will continue to try to be hidden from you. It's like they're having like this tasting. Like they bring you to the cult, to the crew, to the coven to be assessed. Or it could be I don't know why I was brought around these guys, y'all. It's not like I had a working up to the point of meeting them, like talking on the phone with them, or this person telling me how great their friends are. Oh, my friend does this friend does that, this friend likes to do this. I heard none of this. None, nothing. No previous background information on where we ended up, on these people that I quote unquote met. But actually it was a meeting for them to meet me, right? Basically is what that was. I had another example for y'all, but it slips my mind. So I feel like now that I've cleared my energy of this, because this has been here to where I knew I needed to tell you all or tell somebody who's listening how this begins, what this is. And y'all, I never saw those people again. It was a one and done sort of situation, y'all. But if that provides any sort of clarity or insight to anyone, I'm glad to be of service, because that was my story, starting out with a specific individual. I wish I could recall the other point that I needed to make by way of example, my personal example, but it slips my mind right now. But if y'all care at all, I'll definitely, y'all let me know in the comments. I'll retrieve the information and come back. I'll probably retrieve the information right after I get off here, but if y'all aren't interested, or if you don't think it's valuable, I will not, I'll just take it as that. You either already know that, or, it has nothing to do with you. You don't care. Then I would like to have some sort of feedback as to if this is relevant to help somebody, or maybe if the other situation that I wanted to bring up, if you're curious now, because maybe it did ring some sort of bell with you, that maybe the next situation might also, maybe you just need extra confirmation on top of confirmation, then I'm here for that. But anyway, y'all, I hope this helps.